This episode is brought to you by PetImmune. PetImmune is an awesome company from California that makes natural probiotic supplements for cats and dogs. My question for you is, how healthy can our pets be if we're feeding them canned food that's the cheapest stuff we can get? Your pet will have less nasty farts, get sick less often, and if you really love your pet, you should be doing what's best to keep them healthy. That's why I use PetImmune for Spartacus and Maximus. For 10% off, go to petimmuneonline.com and use the offer code ICE. That's PETIMMUNEONLINE.com. Offer code ICE. Please support them since they're supporting us and our pets. This episode is brought to you by Audible. They're the world's leading provider of audiobooks with over 150,000 titles to choose from. And you can get one for free just by going to audible.com/iced. That's right. You get a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial at audible.com/ICET just for listening to this show. Real readers get their audiobooks from Audible.
Upon initial contact with Ice-T's music, I had envisioned him to be an ill-mannered and psychologically unstable man with an extremely uneducated and barbaric frame of mind, whose raps displayed nothing but ridiculous jargon, shocking sexual audacity, and repulsive images of the ghetto. However, after further analysis of his music, I can deduce that he is the epitome of anti-disestablishment terrorism, who embodies the entire spectrum of the urban experience and struggle. But to make things more plain and simple to the layman, I find Ice-T to be the dopest, flyest, OG pimp, hustler, gangster player, hardcore motherfucker living today. To be honest, I am totally and completely on his dick.
Welcome to the Ice-T Final Level Podcast, featuring your co-host, Mick Benzo, and your host,
Ice-T.
Hey, yo, what's up? This is Ice-T and
Mick Benzo.
the one and only with the ultimate dictionary to life. Mr.
Oh, yeah, I got my own vocabulary, baby. Come on, man. I can't do it without that. This podcast number 19.
19, and this podcast is pre-recorded because when you guys are going to be listening to this, I will be in South Africa with the wife.
Wow, you're going to the motherland,
Yeah,
brother.
you know, and out of all the places I've been all over the world, I've never gone to Africa. I remember back when they were doing the whole campaign, not going to play Sun City, you know, because of apartheid in South Africa. But now, you know, a lot of things are still the same, but things have changed, and we're going to South Africa. Coco has her own line of pleasure products. Okay,
Boy toys for the guy. For
girl
the girls.
toys, and
Boy
we're going
toys for the girls.
Yeah, we're going over there for a big convention, and I was able to get off from work to go to South Africa. So we decided to do this podcast ahead of time so that we would still be on our schedule and we could do a podcast every other week. Now, we did one of these types of shows a little while ago, and we had a tremendous response. This is the all-caller episode, and it was fun, right, Mick?
I think it was great, man. We got great response. They actually tuned into it, and they actually called us on it, man. So if you're listening and you got a friend standing by you, you can call 202-499-6326.
Well, how? Oh, yeah. Oh, they're actually online now.
Right,
and
they
they're
could call
listening.
their friend and
Because for
tell
a minute,
them,
you
yeah.
made me think we was on the motherfucking radio right there.
Shit.
You know, radio.
Nah, we ain't on radio. This is podcast, baby. This is Final Level Podcast, baby.
So you know, I want to hear what the podcast listeners are into.
Yeah. They're our family and friends. They're not my fans. Those are our family and friends on this podcast right here.
Exactly. So there's all kinds of craziness going on. I mean, I just say one thing that happened this week. I was on Twitter. So out of nowhere, I tweet out, "Not your bitch, not you concern," as the daily game. Now, y'all have heard me say this before, and I was referring to my wife, you know, because, you know, we had just came from Barbados, and, you know, the haters on the internet got something to say about her bathing suit, about what she's wearing or how she, whatever. And, you know, I'm like, yo, not your bitch.
Not your concern.
Not your concern. You know, I'm not going to get involved in your wife. Well, God damn it, I said it on the wrong day. And people got in an uproar because they thought I was referring to the Ray Rice situation. Now, I don't know who the fuck Ray Rice is, because I don't look at TMZ. I don't troll the internet. I don't know what's going on in pop culture like that. And I'm not a big enough football fan that I even would know dude. So I just didn't know who he was. So, of course, a lot of women came at me and said, oh, this is a guy that just hit his girl. And, you're saying that about that. Well, to some extent, I do mean it. I don't get in other people's business. I don't. But then, of course, we're against, domestic violence and all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place because I really didn't know the subject. Now, I saw the thing, and I'll just say it was a terrible situation.
Well, I gotta say something on behalf of Ray Rice, man, because the simple fact, in the NFL, there's rules. And the NFL rules stated that you get no less than 2 days or no more than 6 days out of a game. So they gave him the 2 days, and then they claimed later on down the road when they saw the actual footage that they had to suspend him indefinitely and then fire him from the Baltimore Ravens. That is my only bad concern about it.
I got beef with that too, because I have a beef believing that's a people in glass house should not throw stones situation. And I think a lot of times these big corporations, whether it's the NFL or anybody, will make examples out of people and they'll step around the truth of it. There's been people that have had fights and big blowouts in the NFL before and all these situations, but now they feel we're going to have to make an example out of this dude.
But again,
and for life.
Yeah, but that's what I say. You're taking away his livelihood. This is what he does for a living. And again, I got to repeat, there's rules and regulation. They made the rules and regulation, and then they take it upon themselves to say, what? We don't have to pay these rules no mind.
Because you have to go by ICE's rule. Those people who make the rules they don't apply to them. So it's their rules, and they can change it. And nobody can watch the video and say this is a horrific situation and stuff. But, when you get into Ice-T, I always get caught up, because even I'm on a show, SVU, I get caught up in the word abuse.
Right.
Now, I grew up, and I got my ass whooped. I was never abused, but I got my ass whooped. When I fucked up, my parents busted that ass. That's not my mother and father fighting, but I'm just saying a kid who gets hit, all of a sudden it's child abuse.
Right, that happened again as you're speaking on that happened to another member in the NFL that he actually spanked his child, and now he's on the news front paper talking about it was child abuse.
Child abuse to me is when something happens for no reason, when you're being abused, when you come home every day and you're getting your ass kicked and you don't know why.
For no reason.
That's when you're abusing. You're stepping over what's normal. Now, right now we live in a society where, people don't whip their child and this, that, and the other. And of course, there's no reason ever to be hitting a woman or this, that, and the third. But message to women, it's basically, if you hit, expect to get hit back. And I believe that I believe that, everybody can abuse each other. If you're a wife and you throw shit at your man, well, that's abuse too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get into this personal shit because I don't really know. These two people could be in a tumultuous relationship where they fight all the time and this is just how they get down. I don't know enough about it. All I can say, and we're going to open this to the callers, it was a horrible situation, to see it and how it played out. But, me, I'm innocent because I don't fight with my wife. I don't with my wife. And my statement had nothing to do with that situation. Right. I'm talking about my wife, not your bitch, not your concern. Right. Stay out of my business with me and my wife. So we're going to open it up to the callers. And I don't want to just talk about that shit because once again, let's not
beat a dead horse.
That's not my thing. Everybody knows I'm part of the no more situation with Mariska and all that. We're about no more domestic violence, no more this, no more that. But at the same time, I deal with things a little bit differently than Mariska. Mariska is Mariska. Ice-T is Ice-T. So I'm going to give it to you more raw and more blunt. And that's just how we are.
Well, we got to talk about the ISIS situation, too.
Talk about anything. Let's not lead them. Let's not lead them. Let's not lead the people. I just want to hear what they got to say about any motherfucking thing.
Anything that's on their mind. Anything.
I don't really think you're helping situations so much just continuously going over this, that, then third. I think everybody can make a snap judgment about certain shit and keep it moving. Okay, so who we got first on the line?
Hello?
Hey, what's up? This is Ice-T and Mick Benzo. You're on the Final Level Podcast. Who is this?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? My name is Darius, man. First time caller. I'm definitely a supporter, family member of you guys.
Where you calling from?
I highly respect both of you guys. I'm calling from Berkeley, California.
Okay, let's talk. What's on your mind?
Man, I just want to, you guys are talking about that Ray Rice situation or whatever. I just wanted to say, I don't know how many listeners you guys have. I know you guys have a strong following, but I just want to say that I feel like a lot of brothers in the industry, whether you're a athlete, an artist, entrepreneur, we're being attacked by the mainstream media, man. Mm-hmm. We gotta make smart decisions. I feel like history is repeating itself, and we just gotta open up our eyes and continue to be prosperous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, I think another thing is that you have to know that everything you do is being seen now.
Exactly.
If you go back to the Jay-Z situation where the girl attacked him, fortunately he kept his hands to himself. He didn't defend himself, but whoever thinks you're on an elevator and people are watching, the world is being viewed by everybody. But yeah, you have to make smart decisions. And I think the other day I tweeted something on Twitter where I said I've had to walk away from a lot of things in my life because I said the only other option was murder. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get pushed at times. You just got to turn and walk away.
I feel like they're using influential people as examples. You know what I mean? And it's definitely trickling down social-wise. You know what I mean? And to be honest, man, I'm very sensitive when it comes to energy around me. And this shit is getting kind of scary, man. So I'm just here to say, I hope everybody, all the people of influence, got their eyes open. Can I ask you a question, Ice-T?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm a writer. I write screenplays. I went to film school, Berkeley Digital Film Institute, and I wanted to know your advice on somebody that doesn't go along with the system, that doesn't kiss ass. Because you kind of seem like the type of dude that did it one way, and you act one way, and I really respect that. So I kind of just want to hear your advice on somebody that likes to go from that angle. You know what I mean?
Well, I think, you got to be yourself, but there will be compromise, And in this business, whenever you're dealing with somebody else's money, like you need somebody's help, whether it's a network or a record label or whatever, they're going to have a say in it. If you want to do things absolutely your way, you're going to have to use your money. There will be compromise. And, it might not seem like it, but I've had to compromise. It just comes with the terrain, Be prepared for that. Don't look at me and think, well, Ice doesn't fold or No, you got to make it work. But hopefully there's enough of you that's going to make it through, the grinder, as we say. Okay? Thanks for calling, boss. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, you gotta take it easy.
All right, cool. All right, who we got on the line? Say your name and where you're from.
This is Ruth from Michigan.
Okay, what do you want to talk about, Reese?
This is Ruth, R-U-T-H.
Go ahead, Ruth.
I'm sorry, Ruth. I apologize.
It's okay. I was talking about the Ray Rice stuff. I know he was punished before. You think that they blew it up more because the media got a hold of it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Once social media, people have a power, and when there's an outcry and it's a bad look for the NFL, they're gonna do something. Now, whether they overstep their boundaries, that's them. There's a clause in all of our contracts. NBC, I have a clause, and it says I cannot bring discredit to the network. Now that can be interpreted a million different ways, but that's grounds for them to get rid of me.
Well, that's the same thing they have with any city or state job. You can't bring discredit against any law enforcement as well. It's the same thing, and it's being done, but they're not handling it the way they did the Ray Rice thing.
And it's not also what he did, it's also that he brought discredit to the league. You see, so it's a bad look. You understand? And they can't stand the bad look. They have sponsors. They have a lot of people that's in it now, and nobody can look at that and say that was right.
Right. We're not condoning to it at all.
But what we're saying is the way the NFL handled it, it's shady. You know, it's one of those things, and you know, it's what it is. You know, when you have a public outcry, you're in trouble. You know, he should be in trouble, and that's not. It's just the NFL. I think the NFL just got caught up in this, and it's not over. It's not over, but
right.
It's a flashpoint. You know, I crazy thing was I was totally unaware of Ray Rice's situation, and then I ended up in the middle of it. But it's
right, yeah, because you answered your question about the picture. That was your wife, your business, and that's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They turned it into I was talking about him, but I'm not. But yeah, I believe the NFL is falling under the pressure of the mob mentality. What people want, they're gonna, you know, crucify him. Now the question is, you know, you have that league, you've got a lot of people doing a lot of crazy things on their off time. Let's see what the next thing that happens.
Well, as you speak on that, Ice, Warner Brothers was being scrutinized. You walked away. You didn't let them take the burden of what your record was. Remember that? When Warner Brothers had the problem with the Cop Killer album, but you chose to move on. You know, you didn't want to bring it.
So what would be the difference? Would Ray Rice say, I quit the NFL? I mean, there's no way he can walk. He's in a situation where there's more record labels that I was able to go away to.
Well, he could have asked for a resignation.
Why would he resign, though?
At the Baltimore Ravens, so he can go somewhere. They trying to make it so he can't get in the NFL.
It doesn't matter what he was going to do. He got caught in a very bad, ugly situation that he brought upon himself, and you know, he's being crucified, and that's just, you know, what happens in the world today. And you know, and no one's really even talking about his wife, you know, what she's going through. I mean, just even to me, putting that on video and showing it over and over again.
Right.
That's like, really, does she need to see that over and over again? Do her kids need to see that? That's on the internet. That's forever.
Exactly.
You know, that's when I say, you know, really, everybody don't need to be privy to everything, you know, because that's something that's going to be with them forever. Or her, the wife. Okay, but thank you for your call.
Thank you, Ice. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day.
Thank you for the call. Next question. Who's on the line and where are you?
Hi, guys. My name is Anthea, and I'm an Aussie that's currently in Halifax, Canada.
You're in Canada?
Yeah, I am.
What's your name?
Anthea.
Oh, okay. We can hear you better now. What would you like to talk about?
I just wanted to say, like, as an Aussie, like, I mean, we kind of get, you know, world news and world scenarios coming at us all the time because, you know, we're a lot smaller. Our crime rate is kind of a lot lower than it is over in North America and stuff. So, you know, we keep up with a lot of what's going on over there.
You know how we know that? You know how we know that? Because every time we come into Canada, they don't want to let Mickey in. They're trying to keep the crime rate
keep
down.
crime down.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to, like, congratulate both of you on everything that you've achieved, and like I'm so happy that there are other people out there in North America that are so knowledgeable and stuff, because oftentimes, like, traveling around the world, I just find people are so single-minded and so, like, wrapped up in their own world and their own communities that they don't actually know what's going on, and it gets really tough to talk to people sometimes because they're just so enwrapped in their own lives that they don't care. And so I listen to you guys every podcast, and, you know, I've met you before, Ice, and yeah, no, it's just really good to hear things that are outside of the little bubble sometimes and, like, actually address real issues. So, you know, just wanted to say thank you, and
you know what it is?
Come into your body count concert.
Thank you. You know what it is? You know what it is? I think the best education is travel, and I think when you go other places, you realize that other parts of the world care about other things. You know, whatever's big on our television shows isn't that important when you go, you know, 5,000 miles in a different direction. People are thinking about other things. it's all perspective when you break it really down. What's the big thing to us is not big in Canada. Canada is dealing with other issues. You know, one of the first things you realize is no matter how important you think you are, you're someplace that doesn't even know who the fuck you are. you're in India someplace. They're looking at you like, who the fuck are you? You know, so it's important that you have a more global outlook on life. It helps you understand how good you have it sometimes. Just by, you know, I mean, I've taken a lot of my guys from the neighborhood across the world, around the world, and they come back home like kissing the ground, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I find that I'm only 19, so I'm still young, and I've been traveling the world for a lot of years, though, and yeah, I find that half the time, you know, I can be more knowledgeable and more aware of the world and, you know, life than so many of these people over, particularly in North America, and, you know, coming from Australia, that's kind of a big thing, and you know, you're huge in Australia anyway. That doesn't change.
That's good to know.
So,
hey, you know, it's just that, you know, when you go somebody else, when you walk in everybody's household, they have a different opinion, they have a different agenda and things that they care about, and that's how it is when you travel the world. You know, we're over here worrying about, you know, Kim Kardashian and Kanye, and people in Africa are worried about eating. You know, they're worried about food. They're worried about. Yeah, they don't care. You bring up some of the stuff we talk about and they're like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for calling from Canada. And you sound like a very wise 19-year-old. So thanks for listening in.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I'll see you in LA for Body Count in October.
Oh, yeah. You going to be in LA?
I'll be over there.
Oh, you're really dope. You just pop up in LA when you want to from Canada. That's nice.
No, I'm here studying for a semester from Australia. So, yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah, come to the Body Count show with Nomads and everybody. It's going to be sick in LA. Whenever we play LA, it's always a police situation. Thank you. Okay.
No worries. Have a good one.
You too. Before we take this next call, let's talk about Pet Immune. When haters complain about our pets, they're talking about shedding, diarrhea, pets scratching themselves all the time, and the bombastic dog fart. Yet a lot of that stuff would happen to humans if we were eating kibbles and bits. I mean, seriously, how much nutrition do you think you can get out of that stuff anyway? Now, Spartacus and Maximus are important to me. That's why I supplement their dog food with Pet Immune. Pet Immune makes natural probiotic supplements for cats and dogs that helps prevent your pet from getting digestive disorders, itching, and scratching, and excessive shedding. Pet Immune promotes and helps our pets' digestive health, immunity, and overall health. Also, healthy weaning as well as skin and coat health. Essentially, Pet Immune makes sure your beloved pets have enough of the important nutrients necessary to keep them healthy. Go to petimmuneonline.com and use the offer code ICE for 10% off. That's PETIMMUNEONLINE.com, offer code ICE. Please support them since they're supporting us. All right, you're on the Final Level Podcast number 19 with Ice-T and Mick Benzo. Who are we speaking to and where are you?
Yeah, this is Jay. I'm calling from VA.
What's up?
I ran into Final Level up on the Twitter. He said call in. I'm a big fan of that Colors music. I just wanted to know what's your favorite color, G.
Now what? Now wait a minute. Hold up. Where you in VA,
Virginia,
and you say you're a fan of what?
Your music, Colors.
Okay.
Colors.
So what's my favorite color?
Yeah.
Black. Word.
I appreciate that, family.
I seem to have mostly black clothes. Everything I own, I got like 10 pair of black jeans. People think I'm wearing the same pair of pants every day.
But I like that black whip you got too, that you be shining up. I see on Instagram too.
Yeah. Black cars are the hardest cars to keep clean. You know, a white car you can have. I got some white cars. They're easier, but black cars are a pain in the ass. You ever had a black car?
Yes, sir.
Every fingerprint you see on it, right? You can't get that shit clean. It's crazy. So Jay, you ain't got nothing else on your mind you want to talk about?
Nah, man, I just wanted to, just to hear your voice on that, though. It's good to connect. How's Spartan Max, man?
Oh, see, you a real nigga. Spartan Max are doing great, man. They running around the motherfucking crib wilding out. Them dogs are like human beings. They went on tour with us this summer. Right now they with the dog walker. They got Coco got a dude that shows up and takes them to the park every day. So them dogs are in good shape. I'll make sure I tell them that you asked about them.
Word, I appreciate you, man.
Okay, stay up, baby. Thanks for calling in.
One.
See, that was just a nice call of a person just saying, hey.
Just saying what's up.
That's fly, but you can't do that in real life.
You can't do that. You can't do that on the regular radio neither.
Yeah, that's what's up. Who we got on the line? This is Ice-T and Mick Benzo. This is Final Level Podcast number 19. Who are you and where are you?
I'm not sure if I'm on, but my name is Stephanie and I'm from New York.
Stephanie, you are on. What's happening? What's going on, Steph? What you want to talk about?
Yo, I follow you on Twitter, and I'm a New Yorker living in Oklahoma. And what I wanted to ask you, since I read your daily game every day, I'm so nervous right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
Is that how does a transplant from New York change the misconceptions of Middle America about Italian Americans? Because I live out here and people think I'm like on the Jersey Shore and shit. And I'm educated, I'm an honors student previously, and people think I'm like either my dad's in the mafia
right,
or like I'm this dumbass bitch, and it really pisses me off because I got all these white people thinking I'm ignorant just because of the way I talk. And I want to know what you think about that, and how do you break down misconceptions about you?
Well, we're at the mercy of the media, and when you see The Godfather or The Sopranos or Jersey Shore, of course people are going to think, well, that's how everybody from New York is. And if you're Italian, you're connected. It's just like watching Bruce Lee in karate movies. You think, that might have helped out, the Asian people, because everybody thinks the oldest man can jump up and kick your ass. So
you leave him alone. You leave him alone then.
Some of those stereotypes might work in your behalf. And, it's funny. I know a lot of Italian people, and a lot of them take offense to The Sopranos, and they take offense to Jersey Shore. And I understand that. But that's just how it goes. If you look at Boys in the Hood or you listen to certain records, you'll think all black people hang out on the corner and drink 40s. So I just think it's your job to change that stereotype one-on-one with every person you meet. It's like a surfer dude could walk in here and I could be like, okay, you look like a surfer. And then he could be the biggest hip hop fan. And then you kind of get your mind blown because you fell victim to, it's prejudice. You're prejudged.
It is. And since I moved out here, I thought, it's cheaper to live here. It's going to be great. But then the whole prejudging, I lived in New York my whole life, so I never really dealt with that. You know what I mean? Everybody lives together. Everybody loves each other. There's all different ethnicities and races and cultures, and we all blend together. But in Middle America, it's not really like that. And from what they see on TV, that's what they think of you. And yes, I break down the barriers. Yes, I try to show that, I am intelligent, but I do have a temper. And I feel like if you fuck with me, I'm going to fuck with you right back. But it doesn't mean...
Would you get them whacked?
It doesn't mean,
Would you get them whacked and be sleeping with the fishes? No, the thing of it is that that's why people move to the cities, because cities are more tolerant. So, if you're an interracial couple and you live in a small town, you might get some eyes rolled at you, and then there's stereotypes we have about small town people. But if people come to New York because nobody cares, like, you got a guy walking down the street with his drawers on his head and you look at him for 1 minute, 5 seconds, because there's another guy dressed like a Christmas tree.
You got the naked cowboy on 42nd
Street. Or a half-naked guy up in the Bronx standing in the middle of traffic butt naked. Yeah, I've seen all that shit before. I just think it's so funny. Like, I lived here for 5 years now in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it's been real interesting. It's been real educational. But on the other hand, when I first meet someone new, it's like I kind of like when they don't ask me where I'm from. And it's like, I know you go all over, so you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's like, you're famous.
I understand.
So it's like if people come up to you and be like, so Ice-T, are you angry? Yeah.
It's stereotypes, boo. It's stereotypes, and we all live with them. And, you know, you can let it bother you, or you can just look at it them being ignorant, but it's part of what we all have to do. If you're blonde, people might think you're dumb. If you're this, you're that. If you're fat,
I know.
People, if you're big, heavy person, oh, you're greedy. You know, it's just one of those things. I mean, I always tell my wife, you know, Coco is outrageous. I'm like, you couldn't live in a small town. You'd be what everyone talked about every day. Did you see what she watched at a grocery store? You know, you'd be at the PTA meeting. They couldn't handle you. But by being in New York, you blend in because nobody cares. So you're a city girl in a small town. They got a song. They got a TV show called Green Acres that was about that. You know, Jaja Gabor.
Like everyone watches you. Everyone watches me. Like, what does she say? How does she dress? How does she act? Is she gonna kick my ass? You know, like, what makes her mad? Like, you know, poking at me. Like, does this make her mad? Oh, you're overreacting. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm more under a microscope, and I feel like you're under a microscope too, in another sense. And I know it doesn't bother you.
No,
but to me, it bothers me. And you know, your daily game about like cutting your circle and doing all this other stuff. I read it every day. And yeah, I'm an Italian woman living in Oklahoma. But still, you know, your stuff still reaches out to me, and I feel it.
Okay,
you know?
well, here's my daily game for you. You have to accept the situation that you're in. It's just what it is. You are an Italian woman in Oklahoma. There's a bunch of stereotypes that go along with that, and I don't know if you by yourself are going to be able to change that. So, you know, you have to go, or you have to accept it, or go where that doesn't occur. It's like, look at it like this. There's a lot of gay people in the United States. Sometimes they get shunned. So that's why some of the bigger places like Frisco or places like New York where it's okay, they find themselves migrating there just so they don't run into that daily. Is it something wrong with their town? Yes. But they just decide to leave. So, hey, you made the choice to go to Oklahoma with your Italian self.
From New York. From New York, the Tucson.
You know what it was? I was on an adventure. Like, my husband got injured, and I was like, you know what, let's just go. We can always come back. And we actually just came back from vacation there, and I was at home. Like, I look around, and I feel like I'm not different anymore. Like, I got my dark hair. I got my darker skin. You know, I feel like I'm at home. So we may be moving back shortly, but, you know, now we have a 3-year-old, so we'll see what happens. But, you know, family's family, your culture is your culture, and, you know, I think that's where I belong.
It's kind of like how I felt when I moved to Beverly Hills. Hey, well, thank you for calling in, and keep tuned in to the Daily Game. Your Daily Game is you knew you were moving to Oklahoma. Deal with it.
I love you, Ice. Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.
Yeah, she ain't gonna be able to change where the Oklahoma people.
Nah, like you said, you have to stay in these big cities in order to do that. Like you said, it's less headache, and it's interracial. It's people of all ethnics in New York, and like you said, in San Francisco and in LA. You
Everything's
know,
cool. Small town.
A small town.
If you went to a small town, Mickey, they would arrest you the first day.
Oh yeah, they'd have said he's a hoodlum. He's muscle. He think he's this. He think he's that. Just like you said. My wife go to the store in Oklahoma. Did you see what Coco had on up at the storage mart this morning?
Nobody cares here.
Yeah, you know.
Nobody cares. You know. Okay, who's on the line and where are you?
Yo, Ghetto Celeb, what up? Ice, what up? Ghetto Celeb, checking in, baby. What up?
Where you calling from?
Yo, this Ghetto Celeb, this motherfucking Prince calling from ATL, yo, what up?
I love it,
nigga. ATL, what's happening out in the ATL, man?
What's up, man? What you want to talk about, baby?
Ain't nothing, yo, this motherfucking Prince, yo, from the Body Count Tour, T-shirt peoples, yo, what up, yo?
It's my man Prince from my daughter's friend. What's up, baby? Ghetto Celebs in the building. What's up?
No doubt, Ghetto Celeb. Ain't nothing, man. You know that the podcast. You know, I've been following the podcast for about a year now and shit, man. But I went to Ohio this past weekend to promote my single, Private Dancer. But you know, I had to put the podcast out there in Ohio, man. So I put a bunch of young cats onto the show and everything. So you know, you gotta show love to Ohio from now on when you know doing your thing and everything.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now the cool thing, Mickey, you met Prince when we was out there.
Prince is out there.
Yeah, everybody
what
out
up,
there.
Mick? What up, Mick?
Oh man, love, baby.
This is
much love, word.
This is a friend of the family. He's in ATL. Good friends with my daughter. He got a group called Ghetto Celebs. He got a song called Private Dancer. He let me hear it on the tour bus. The shit was dope, but it was funny because when we was talking, he was like, I was playing a podcast in the hotel room, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, I've been listening to the podcast. I'm like, you know, once again, here's a stereotype. I'm like, okay, you a street cat, hip hop nigga, right? I wouldn't think you was listening to the podcast.
Right.
So,
And he's in ATL checking it out.
You listen to other podcasts or just us?
Nah, just y'all. Cause I've been following your Twitter and everything. So when you put the podcast up a while ago, you know, say back in the day, it was easy for me to see on my timeline. So you're the only podcast I follow. And you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start having to check in Combat Jack from now on. His shit was pretty dope. But you know what I'm saying? But nah, it's the only podcast I even know of. To be real.
Now, since we talking about it, you know, and you like fam, I mean, if you telling somebody about a podcast, how do you break it down to them? How do you sell them to listen to it?
I basically tell them it's like it's unscripted radio, it's raw radio. I just tell niggas it's like I heard you refer to it like an album the other day because you can come back to it and, you know what I'm saying, archive it. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, like reality radio, man. That's what I say, reality radio. That's what I say. Straight
I like it.
Reality
I like
radio.
it. I like
y'all
it.
talk about mad shit.
We might have to steal that. Can we steal that? Reality radio?
No doubt. You my nigga, baby. Reality radio. You know what it is.
Hey, well, anyway, but since you on the line, why don't you plug your stuff? How can people get into the Ghetto Celebs? How can they follow you?
Yo, y'all can follow me and you can find me on all social media at Ghetto Celebs, GhettoCelebz. That's at Gmail, that's at Twitter, that's at Instagram. Everything is Ghetto Celebs, GhettoCelebz. You can always find me in the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, just one-on-one. You know, I met Prince out there. And this is a solid dude, you know what I'm saying? He's been through a lot. You know, we talked about his dad and different things, and I fully support him. So, you know, and I listen to his music, and you know me, Prince, I ain't gonna front, but I like that track. I like that Private Dancing track. He played me some music, and you know, he's an up and coming artist, and he needs y'all support. So all the final level people, you know, definitely a final level. You know, he's on the team. He's part of the final level Twitter gang. And yo, thanks for calling. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, much love to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you you know, just keep doing it, man. Don't stop, man, because the podcast is strong. You know what I'm saying? Your podcast is real heavy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cats like me do appreciate the podcast. You know, regardless of the stereotypes and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? We do appreciate the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just keep doing what y'all doing. And Ghetto Celeb, we do it all, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anybody need to book me for some acting, some modeling, whatever, I do it all. You know what I'm saying? I come fix your car, get the check engine light off. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
That's my name.
That's all right, Prince.
All right, take care, Prince. Peace. That motherfucker said I will come and take the check engine. Man, I got to steal some of that shit.
That's
he just
that
said.
fly shit.
He said, yeah, but he said it's reality radio.
Yo, they loving it though, man. They
but
actually like it, man. I told you, look, we
on
got
radio. I can't be this raw.
We got something.
I can't be this raw. Who's on the line?
Final Level Podcast. Who's this and where you calling from?
This is Kenzie. I'm from Kansas.
Hey, how are you today? What you want to talk about?
If you were to have a relationship on SVU, who would it be with?
Well, let's think about this. Wow. Now, Kelly's cute as hell, but I think that would be too cliche for me to actually make out with my partner. I don't know if that would work. I don't know if me and Mariska are on the same level. I don't know. I don't think they would write Finn and Mariska, because Mariska's kind of been with different people already, so it's going to be difficult to find somebody for her. So I don't really know. I mean, there's probably nobody on the show yet. I think they would have to introduce a new person. I mean, I'm not against having a relationship. It just can't be corny.
But if it could be anybody you wanted, who would it be?
Oh, it'd be Coco, of course. But they're not going to let me have
besides your wife.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, that's a trick question.
Just Coco. You're gonna write Coco in. You're gonna write Coco in SVU, and that'll be his relationship.
You gotta know when that's a trick question. Coco listens to the podcast. You want me to pick? She'd be like, "Oh, so that's who you want to fuck, huh? Is that right?" Nah. I'm not. I don't fall for those questions right there. No, I don't know. I mean, anybody that came on the show that they thought would be appropriate for me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind having an interracial relationship like I have in real life. I wouldn't mind anybody. You know, I just don't know if that's in the script. So, that's the answer to your question. I have no idea. And anytime you ask me anything about who I'm into, it's going to be my wife. That's the correct answer.
Okay, and will you call me baby?
Yes, baby.
Thank you.
All right, baby. You take care, baby.
Next caller.
What is going on?
I don't know.
What's going on? Was that
was
that like Coco's mom's trying to do a fake?
It might be flirt night and
it's
shit.
Somebody trying to put me in the doghouse.
Not fright night, float night. You know who would it be? Nah, but I mean, basically,
they always like asking celebrities.
But it's cool because if you're acting, it happens to be a relationship on your.
But some of that shit gets heavy. I watch, watch the soap operas. I was watching we always talk about Power, but I was like, damn, man, homie, he's really pounding that chick out, and then he got to pound her out every episode. If that was my wife, she's going to work. I'm like, you got to fuck this nigga again. Well, it's fake, but god damn,
we're not gonna keep doing that over and over. I ain't gonna relive that over and over, honey.
Yeah. Okay, before we get to the next call, let's talk about Audible. Audible is a longtime supporter of the podcast, and I'm a big fan of audiobooks, as they are easy, convenient, and better to listen to in my car than awful radio stations that play the same 20 records over and over again. If you're at all interested in audiobooks, you need to check out Audible. Audible is the world's leading provider for audiobooks with over 150,000 titles to choose from. You can even listen to audiobooks anywhere. They have WhisperSync technology that makes sure you never lose your place when you switch devices, and it even lets you switch between listening to your audiobook and reading an ebook on your Kindle. You can get my autobiography called Ice, From South Central to Hollywood, and also you can get my new Dungeons & Dragons book on Audible. The D&D story is called Comrades at Odds, a tale from the legend of Drizzt. Remember, Drizzt is spelled D-R-I-Z-Z-T. For a free audiobook and a 30-day trial, go to audible.com/icet. That's audible.com/ICET. You'll be saving money and helping to keep the podcast free. Thanks again to Audible.
Hey, look, it's Final Level Podcast. Who's on the line? Mick, Benzo, Ice-T. Where you calling from and who are you?
Yo, this is Chris from L.A.
Hey, what's up, Chris? What you want to talk about?
Hey, what's up, Ice? I've been tripping out to the body count and the cover of Institutionalized. I was just wondering if you could sort of rap about that a little bit, What made you want to pick out the suicidal tendencies and add your own twist?
Great question. Well, being body count and we having that hardcore urban look, almost the gangbanger look to our group, we can't do that without paying homage to Suicidal. Suicidal was the first group with the bandanas, with that look. And, I was always a fan of Suicidal. And when we came out, our fans were mostly Suicidal fans. They came right across to us. So, I got a chance to meet Mike Mirren, and I know a lot of the cats that play in Suicidal, but, that song, Institutionalized, is genius. Him ranting, all I wanted was a Pepsi, and come to find out, one of my best friends, Glenn Friedman, who's a photographer who shot a lot of my album covers, was the manager and the producer of Suicidal at that time. And so it was just a song I wanted to do as a remake. And, you can't fuck with the hook. The hook is what the record's all about. And I just said, I want to do it. And I'm just going to rant about 3 things that happen to come to mind. And we just had a good time with the song. And people like it. And whenever you do a remake, you want to do justice to the song. And I'm glad that the Suicidal fans liked it. At the end, you notice I say Suicidal because we're in an era now that people take people's records and don't even say where they came from, So
right.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was just doing, and here's a trivia piece. The rants in that record I did in one take. Mickey was in the studio. We had the hooks. I'm not crazy. We did that already. And then I just did that whole shit in one take. Just going off. There's no edits.
Because it was fun. It was fun.
But you were laughing.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, when we got to the end of the song, I say, what do you think? And I looked at the producer, Will Putney. He says, I think you got that. So that was just me.
It's funny, but there's a lot of truth to it, man. It's got a lot of resonance, even all these years later.
Well, the only thing that's not really true the rant about the customer service, that's true, because I just last night I was trying to find my fucking,
and it's always a foreigner.
I was on Xbox and it asked for my fucking password, and I don't know my fucking password, so that was real. And also, when I'm on the set of SVU, people always have something to say about what I'm eating, like just walking up at whether I got a fucking popsicle. The only thing that's not real was Coco, my wife, bitching about Xbox, because Coco really doesn't care. But I know so many guys whose wives hate it, so I kind of just played that part out. But everything else is real.
Right on. Nothing comes between Ice and his Call of Duty.
Nah. My wife has a good theory of Xbox or video game, and she says at least you know where he is. He's sitting right downstairs yelling at the TV screen. He's not out in the streets running around doing dumb shit.
I hear that.
All right, thanks for calling in.
All right, keep up the good work, man.
Okay. Hey, this is Ice-T, Mick, Benzo, podcast number 19. This is the callers only. We're talking about whatever you want to talk about. Who's on the line and where are you?
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And first, I'd like to say I invited you to my wedding in April of 2011, and you didn't call, you didn't come, nothing.
I'm sorry.
I was very upset about that.
I'm very sorry. I had the tux rented and everything. What the fuck are you talking about? What in the fuck are you talking about? Whose wedding? What?
My wedding. Both my husband and I follow you on Twitter, and you've answered a question for me about Coco before, and we're very loyal followers.
But you guys said you were going to send a jet.
Well, it didn't matter how he got here. I just wanted him here. I thought it would be awesome.
Okay, well, check this out. Check this out. Although I don't remember the invitation, the fact that you're part of the Final Level Twitter gang, I apologize.
Well, thank you. That's awesome. And second of all, I think I should come on the SVU and play your love interest.
Hey, didn't you just get married? Didn't you just get married?
Coco.
Didn't you just get married?
Didn't you just get married?
Yes, I did, but I'm an actress, and I'm right about the same size as Coco, and I think it'd be awesome.
Okay, let me ask you a question now. Let me just ask you a serious question, okay?
Okay.
You just got married. You come on SVU. You got to play my love interest or somebody else's love interest. How's your husband going to feel if we got to do like a bedroom scene butt naked?
It's acting. He would understand.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to throw that out there, but that's good. You gotta. I think we need to ask him that question.
He might have a different answer, but I would do it anyway because it's acting.
I believe he will.
Hey, you know what? I wish I had came to your wedding because you really sound like fun. You're very, very cool. Hey, so is there anything else you want to talk about?
Can you get me a walk-on role or something?
Well, you can. Are you SAG? Are you a SAG actress?
Am I a fat ass?
No. Are you in the Screen Actors Guild?
Oh, no, I'm not.
See, it's kind of like if you want to be on my show, you have to be in the Screen Actors Guild. Now, it's kind of like wanting to be a fireman, but you haven't gone to fireman training. You have to have the correct credentials in order to even read for my show. So that's your first job, is to get into SAG. And then once you get into SAG, you have your agent and you can read to be on our show. That's easy. Now, if you just want to be an extra, you got to come to New York. You got to go to Central Casting and they'll book you. But they not necessarily book you for SVU. They'll book you for extra work all over the city.
Okay, well, I can do that. But I have acting training.
Yeah, but you need to be in the union to be on certain shows. Like if you want to be in an indie, it might be a non-SAG film. This is really game now, right now. You could be a non-SAG film, but to be on certain shows, you have to be a SAG actress. So concentrate on getting a SAG card.
All right, I will look into that. I don't know how much it costs, or that I can afford it.
No, you can't buy
I will look into that.
You can't. It's a process. Go after you get off this. Google SAG actress and find out what you need to do to get it. But I would love to have you come on and play my love interest. But you got to be a SAG actress.
All right, thank you. I look forward to it. I'm going to be Ice-T's love interest in at least one episode of SCU.
I can't wait for them to say you're on the set.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. People want to be on my show and people want to do stuff, but in order to be on, you know the business.
Yeah, no question.
You
have to be in the union.
You have to
SAG.
be.
And they got to do some shows, do some speaking, then they get SAG. She doesn't buy the SAG.
Well,
card.
SAG
then
is difficult.
Then you pay your union dues. You know?
SAG is difficult to get into. There's two ways. One is you have to do enough extra work that you get vouchers that allow you to be able to be a SAG. That's a way. That's a hard way. Mm-hmm. The other way is a producer has to say the only person that can play this role is Mickey Benson. That's who has to play that role, and they can put you in. It's called Taft-Hartley, right. And they can put you into a film. Now, I got into Breaking back in the day, the movie Breaking, my first acting role, because they felt there were no actors that could rap. So I was a particular person. They had to go out of the union to get me. Mm-hmm. And then they have to pay extra for you in that role. They have to pay you, and they have to pay for the actor that didn't get the job. Yeah, so it's a trick. It's a trick. Okay, who's on the line and where are you? You're on the Final Level Podcast, number 19.
It's Mo from Seattle. What's up, your Iceman?
Mo from Seattle.
What's up, Seattle? What's cracking up there?
You know, it's all good up here. The weather's nice. The Seahawks is winning. You know, that type thing.
Yeah. You know, I got a lot of people up there in Washington. You know what I'm saying? My good people, my crew. You know about the group Certified? They're out of Spokane.
Yeah, I heard about them.
Yeah, that's my folks, and of course Mix-a-Lot's up there. So what you want to talk about?
Oh, you know, I just love your acting roles. I just wanted to know when you're gonna do a role like, old school Surviving the Game. You know that role you did.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we shot that movie Surviving the Game in right outside of Seattle in a place called Wenatchee, Washington. So you probably liked all that mountains and river shit. Me running.
I remember that.
Yeah. I don't know. Right now, just doing Law and Order, that's a good job. And, me being a black actor, I do not jump off a boat while it's still floating. You dig? So
I know, right.
You feel that? So I'm going to be on that show till we go off the air. And then basically I'll go back and start, reading for films and doing some more stuff. They always cast me as the heavy. I'm either the gangster or the cop, one of the two. But definitely a nigga with a gun. They give me a gun every show. I got to have a gun.
That's all he requires.
I hear that a nigga with a gun.
yeah, but I'm just kind of living it, man, right now. I don't know when you're gonna see me in a big film, but I feel that right now I'm building my credentials, I'm building my experience. So when it's time for me to return to film, I'll be that much better an actor.
Oh yeah, but I love you on the film though, baby. I'm still watching you on SBU too though, so I say what's up to you every now and again, when I see you on the big screen.
I appreciate that. Hey, so that's it, man. Thanks for calling in from Seattle, man. You take care, player.
All right, you too, Ice.
All right, Church. He remind me, he sound like MC when he talk.
I thought he was too.
He sound like MC. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah,
rest in peace.
You can tell the players where they talk. It's like a rhythm.
Real smooth with it too.
Yeah, you dig? That's what's up. Who's on the line?
Hey, I'm from Chicago, and I love you on SCU, and I think you are awesome that you went on a multi-city tour with your band, and you know what, buddy? No naked butt scenes with any love interests on SVU because Coco would be a little mad. Just saying.
That's what you got to say. And you know what? I understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, though, because in the acting world, everything is supposed to go because it's acting. But at the end of the day, you still are married. You still are.
That's right. You go home to your baby, right?
Yeah. So it's definitely, I watch movies and I'm like, okay, that was a heavy scene right there. And I'm on the set. And
right?
I see some of the scenes go down and, it definitely.
Right?
If the shoe's on the other foot, I might be like, hold up. You dig? Now, Coco had a scene on SVU where she had not make out, but kiss this other girl. That was cool. I'm just talking about some of the heavier scenes. The heavier
yeah,
scenes.
I know.
And
I'm worried because you invited that girl, but buddy, I just have to tell you this: I love you on SVU. I love your one-liners. but I love your smile more. And when you're not on Twitter, I'm like, really? I'm the one that keeps responding to you. You put out there that, I got to work for a living. I don't just sit on social media all day. And I was like, yeah, right. And you said, and you favored my Twitter, and I was like, yes, look at I see that.
Well, you know what I try to do? You know what I try to do on Twitter is I'm on two things with Twitter. One is I can't be on that shit all day because it's just not fly.
Right.
It's not fly, so I go on it in little spurts. So when I go on it, if I do something, I might look at the comments for that minute I'm on it, and I'll scroll down. And what I do is I found out if I favorite people, it's kind of like a way of me letting them know I see them,
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, buddy? I was laughing so hard that day because I was at work and you were at work, and we're working our butt off, and we're in our, I personally am in my 50s. I'm 52, and I don't know how old you are, buddy, but you know what? Here's the thing. I was like, I can't sit on Twitter all day.
Yeah.
I wish I could, but I can't.
Nah.
So, hello, kids, get a job.
Yeah, well, Twitter is fun. It's something to do when you're bored. And like I said the other day, Twitter is nothing more than a big chat room that is always open. And the people you follow are the people who you might care about what they're saying. You can't follow everybody because then that timeline flies like 100 miles an hour. So that chat room is open right now. People on Twitter are talking to each other. Then if I decide to enter the chat room, then people talk to me. But then you got to exit the chat room. Like you got to go and live you have to live your life. And people get butthurt. They're like, oh, I said something, you didn't see it. I'm like, I've got almost 500,000 people talking to me at one time. I can't follow you. I can't follow you because then I can't see the people I'm trying to pay attention to. So what I found out is by just hitting the favorite star allows people to know, yeah, I saw that. He saw that.
And you know what? And people are like over the top about it. But I just have to say this. You mentioned several months ago that you and Coco are going to have a baby. Come on, buddy.
No, we never mentioned that.
I got to see a little iced tea.
No, we didn't mention that.
I'm just saying.
What I said was, the people like to read into shit. What I said was, Coco wants to have a baby. I think that probably this time next year. Because right now she's doing Vanity Vixen. She has her little Broadway show she's getting together, and that's her main scope. Okay. She's trying to do it. What I said was she's starting to get her body together. She's starting to get her natural shit going. To get the womb prepared for the child. But that is down the road. I told, it's been known. I said, Coco, whenever you want to have a baby, I could do the deed. I could put twins, triplets. I can dial that shit in. Don't.
Like you said on SVU, men never know where they leave their stuff, right?
Yeah. So I told her that, but I mean, it's my wife and it's her choice, and I'm sure the minute she says, baby, let's make a baby, that won't be a problem. But I'm not putting any pressure on her. And she's just living her life. She's very career mode. She's got so many things going. She's got her toys going. She's got her clothing line going. She's got her fitness app going. She's got this new show going. So, you know how it is when women get their career out there. That's their baby right now. And we got our dog. So, hey, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen.
And you know what, buddy? It's okay. Whenever another little iced tea comes, I'm good for it. And you know what? I just have to tell you, I watch SVU. Honest to goodness, I started watching it in November when I was out of work for the first time, and I'm like obsessed. And my husband goes, I think I saw this one, and I said multiple times. And you know what? I watch it, and I watch it, and I watch it, and you guys are fabulous. And you keep up the good work, buddy, because I follow you. I'm an old woman, so I'm not really that much into your into the rapping and everything. But I know you've been around a long time, and you have great talent, and I adore you. And when you smile, I love it.
I'm smiling right now.
I love it. I love seeing it.
Hey, I'm smiling right now, and you know what? what you're saying, people always ask, entertainers or whatever, what drives you? It's when you have that appreciation, when people tell you, that I'm enjoying that show and I'm having a real good time. That's what makes us want to keep doing it, and it's a great thing. So bottom line is, I appreciate you and I'm glad you appreciate what I'm trying to do.
I do, and thank you so much for taking my call. I'm actually at Chicago and at Speedway at that stinking NASCAR race, but it's really important to my husband, so I come every year. But I said, dude, I'm going back to the car. I'm done. Jeff Gordon wins, great, but I'm tired. And then you were like, call in, and I'm going to chance it. And thanks for talking to me, buddy, because I think you are fabulous. I love your lines. I love your serious looks on the show. I just have fallen in love with you, and you have a great time, and love your co-workers, because we all do. And I'll just keep stalking you on Twitter, okay?
That's the business. I appreciate it. You take care, and tell your husband I said what's up.
Alrighty.
All right. Okay, this is Ice-T and Mick Benzo, and who do we have on the line now, Mick?
I believe this Mike.
Hey, this is Mike Mahler, guys. I'm one of your sponsors out of Las Vegas.
Yeah, what's up, Big Mike?
Hey, Mike, guess what? We're very happy to have you on the podcast, especially since you are one of our sponsors. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And hey, I saw you at the old 930 Club in Washington, D.C. in 1992. It was you doing a rap set, and then you did Body Count. One of the best shows I've ever been to, man. You killed it. Incredible.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Well, we're proud to have you as a sponsor. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I take them, baby. I take them. I need that motherfucker. I need that motherfucking boost, baby.
You know what? Why don't you tell the podcasters what it's all about?
Yeah, well, basically, I have an all-natural herbal testosterone booster. It's called Mahler's Aggressive Strength Testosterone Booster, and it has 3 herbs in it. One's called bulbine, which is a South African herb, and what that does is it helps your brain communicate with your testes more to signal more natural testosterone production. So unlike taking a testosterone shot, which over time will shut down your natural production and cause some health issues, what mine does is help rejuvenate your own natural production. And then it has 2 other ingredients in there that help with brain health and focus and mood, and another one called stinging nettle root. That's a 3rd ingredient. And what that does is it unbinds testosterone from what's called sex hormone binding globulin, so it makes it more free and available. So the 3 ingredients work really well to just not only increase testosterone in men, but also lower estrogen and create a nice balance. And if people look at the testimonials on my website, it's 60 stellar testimonials. No natural testosterone booster comes close to the kind of feedback I'm getting with this thing. It's incredible. I have guys in their 60s who are doubling their testosterone. The testimonials basically say it all on my website. And everything you need to know is right there at aggressivestrength.com.
Well, the thing of it is that, the honest to God truth is you can't do anything about nature. And as you get older, you are going to lose testosterone. There's nothing you can really do about it. Nobody's a freak in nature. But you necessarily don't feel the loss. You don't necessarily feel the loss. Now, I'm in the gym every day. I'm one of those cats that likes to try to stay in shape and stuff. But you don't really want to take, as you get older, you definitely don't want to take any risky drugs either. You know what I'm saying? You want that extra boost, but you don't want to take any risky drugs, fuck your liver up, and end up fucked up by some side effect and shit. So the fact that this is all natural, it's important, right?
Yeah, exactly. Anything you can do naturally to optimize your hormones. And what I'd like to offer to your listeners as an additional bonus is that anyone who wants more information on how to balance your hormones, this is both for men and women, can shoot me an email through my website, aggressivestrength.com. Just hit the contact button. Just say you're a listener of the show, and I'll send over a lecture series that I did, which is really comprehensive. It gives you all kinds of nutrition advice from top to bottom. So that'll be something that for people that are interested in learning more about this process can check out.
This is what it is, it's a good thing. It's one of those things I didn't think I needed, but I tried it and I was like, wow, this definitely does. It adds to your energy, especially when you're in the gym. I work out and it definitely gives you that extra boost. so you can get it in. And then, of course, you know, since I'm a maniac in the bedroom, it allows me a few more positions.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, well, that's what people get so excited about this product for, because sometimes with guys, when your hormone declines, it's not like women. When women go through menopause, it's like they fell off a cliff. It's just night and day. With men, it's a very gradual decline. So what happens is, you get to this place where your sex drive is gone and your mood is gone, but it happens so gradually, you don't really think about it. You just think it's normal, and all your friends may feel the same way. So you just think, you know what, I guess this is what I'm supposed to feel like at 45, 50, etc. But then when you take something like my product and you optimize your nutrition and you get on a good, healthy training lifestyle and you get that feeling back, all of a sudden your sex drive is back, your mood is better, because it's not possible for a man to feel at his best if his sex drive is low. It's just not possible. It's so important for a male psyche to have an optimal sex drive, and it's a sign of your health as well. Because basically, when you have no sex drive, it's nature's way of saying you're unhealthy. Don't go out there and procreate, because you're gonna ruin the gene pool. You know, when your sex drive is high, it's a sign that you're healthy. It's going, hey, get out there and make everything better for all of us.
Well, fortunately for me, I've always had a really heavy sex drive. You know, fortunately, I'm married to Coco, so she's like human Viagra. But at the end of the day, if I compare my sex drive, my son is 23. This little motherfucker is like out of his fucking mind. Like, he's trying to fuck everything that moves, because it's a difference. You know, you might, like you say, it's a gradual break off. There's no way I could be as outrageously horny as this guy at 23 years old. It does change. It's, you know, it's more discipline and stuff, but this stuff actually works. So, I mean, you know, I'm co-signing the shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't take on sponsors on our podcast just for the sake of sponsors. It has to be something that I think can help my listeners. And, you know, Mickey needs this, though.
Oh, yeah, I need the aggressive strength, man. I need it. AggressiveStrength.com. AggressiveStrength.com. Believe me, I take the pill.
He needs it.
He takes it.
He wears a T-shirt, too, so his wife knows he's on it.
I like it. Are you planning on doing any shows in Vegas at some point with Body Counts, or are you pretty busy right now with the TV show Law and Order?
You know, strange thing about doing shows in Vegas. Vegas is so over. It's such a transient crowd that people come in, they're looking at Cirque du Soleil and all these different things. So when you do a concert, it's hard to sell out in Vegas because there's just so much stuff.
So much things happening.
And nobody really lives there, you know? Everyone's passing through. So, you know, usually you'll find out that we'll play Arizona. Every once in a while, you got to be a really, really big situation to come through Vegas with a traveling show. But, you know, I'm in L.A. We're playing L.A. in October. And, you know, I'm in New York City. You know, can't beat that.
Oh, that's great. I'll definitely try to check out you guys in October. How do you think fans have changed over the years since, let's say, the 930 Club in the 1990s versus now?
You know, music content has changed. You know, we went through a very politically fueled music scene, and then it got very pop where nobody's singing about anything. But I think with the situations that are going on in the world right now, I think people are going to get back to, you know, more conscious music about life and reality versus the flossing and all that, you know, faking like everybody's rich shit. I think that's going to play out within the next couple years.
I agree. I think that's a bubble that's ready to burst.
And we'll be right here on the podcast when it play out. We'll be right here.
Yeah, I just think that, you know, reality will set in, and the singers will have to start dealing more with reality that they're living, you know, and it'll change. But who cares? You know, I'm just going to keep on doing what I do.
I hear that. Well, hey, I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys having me on, and keep up the great work. I'm definitely a fan as well.
Cool in the gang. Thank you. You take care.
All right, you too. Have a good one. Bye.
All right, this was podcast number 19. We open this up to our family and friends, and guess what? They call from Kansas, Seattle, you know, Chicago, and even our sponsors call up because they realize that the Final Level podcast is real.
That was fun, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
That was fun, you know, and every once in a while we're going to do this again. We're going to open the lines up to the people that are out there so they can say whatever's on their mind. Some of them want to talk about current events. Some people want to talk about SVU. Some people want to talk about music.
Some people want to talk about aggressivestrength.com.
Yeah, as long as you want to call in, me and Mickey will talk to you. You'll say your opinion. I'll say my opinion. Mickey will say his opinion, and we'll build. You dig? And, you know, one of my mottos is, in order to build, you must be willing to destroy. So sometimes you're going to have to get rid of some of your ideas and take on some other new ideas so that you can move forward. But that was the podcast number 19.
Family and Friends.
Family and Friends. As you are listening to this, I am actually in South Africa doing some crazy shit. You know, probably seeing some pictures of me over there. I might be with a motherfucking orangutan just chilling. But, you know, we're going to sign out. Mickey, we're going to sign out. Stay tuned for the Art of Rap tour, which we will be talking about in the near future. You know, we're on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Final Level. Mick, what's your Twitter handle?
At Mick Benzo.
Email us at
iceandmick@gmail.com. ICEANDMICK@gmail.com.
And we had a great time talking to you. And in the words of Mickey Benson,
tell a friend to tell a friend.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. Here's my word from you: be good.
Be good.
That's how I'm living. 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 That's how I'm living.